right, guys. Welcome to Trash Trades again. It's VJ in the house on the charts, and it's also my buddy Luca. Luca, say hello to the audience.
How's it going, guys? My name is Luca. You know, they say.
More energy.
Okay, first of all, that's my ad lib. You can't say that.
Nah, that was mine. You know, it was originally mine. And then it became more energy is definitely going to be. Right. More energy is definitely on the merch. Okay. You know that. More energy is for sure on the merch.
Okay,
more
listen,
energy
we're
socks
not
coming,
fucking doing this.
More energy
man.
Socks and underwear paws is.
Oh,
coming.
you know. Okay, first of all, I would definitely consider more energy underwear on the butt, like more on one cheek and then energy on the other cheek. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot.
Right on the ball cup. Oh, god damn! And he didn't think I was.
No, we got some good ideas.
On a short trading day, boys souped it. God damn, he's out of control.
All right,
about 2 seconds ago, I was acting half asleep, but McDonald's coffee got your boy back. And what is it? Sugar-free vanilla iced coffee, light cream. They gave me normal cream or more than normal,
no.
And I'm fine with it. That's how good today is. What's up, y'all? So, we're going out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yo, Luca, how's your training day, buddy?
Training was fine. It was half day after Thanksgiving. You guys already know. One trade, green, left it. Not green by a lot. Not. First of all, I'm still on my streak, red streak. You already know how many episodes have we been on the red streak. We need a red streak counter. 7 or no?
You broke it though.
It's 7. No, well,
but it's green. Today was green.
Yes, but I'm still like it's nothing, bro. Like my red is, bam. You know, still red for the week. Somewhere. How about that? Red for the week.
Hey guys,
bam.
Guys, I wish this was just like we were acting out an example of how not to act when you've been losing. But this is actually his real feelings. What I would say is, gotta start somewhere.
Yep.
Good job ending the week.
Got my head up high. Chin.
We shouldn't even been trading today. To be honest.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a loss, but I took a trade too, and it was pretty good. But it was probably the only thing that was all right. But anyway,
to sum up, my name is Luca. How's it going, guys? And VJ is about to resume the introduction, and we're gonna go into this very educational master. Because first of all, we're like super qualified for this job.
But real quick, before we do, roll the intro.
Order filled.
I loved it. I loved it very much, and I waited the perfect amount. By the way, anyway, let's.
Me too. Me too. Let's not forget that I did too.
Yes, you did, but you kind of left it because you're being safe.
God damn, he's patting himself on the back.
Okay, moving on.
Let's see this fucking garbage. Let's see this garbage, huh, people?
All right, we're gonna give some pre-trade analysis. You already know we do the bit of pre-trade analysis. What's the fucking timestamps? Anyway, check the timestamps. You already know it's gonna be all there. You know, it's very interesting. Anyway, pre-trade analysis. This was what I was thinking for this day. Straight away consolidation for the first.
What are you trading here, SPY?
This is SPY, yes.
Yeah, yep.
First fucking, fucking hour and a bit of the trading day was consolidation. Straight away I was like, okay, this is obviously accumulation. All the SMC or ICT students are looking for some AMD, you already know. And to be honest, I thought this was the manipulation move down. We swept those lows. We swept this low as well. And I was thinking it was going to be a move up. This was a contrarian play that I normally do. Like, you guys know me. I would pull a fib right here, high to low, enter 0.618. In this case, I'd enter around here, this order block, 0.618. 0.005 or 0.8, and I'd play for shorts. You guys already know if there's liquidity down there, you best believe I'm going to be in at a 0.618 retracement. But guess what? Because I'm in a red streak and I'm going a little crazy on the charts, I've decided to do the opposite this trade. And to be honest, I'm very experimental with my strategy. I'm still learning, you know, I'm still doing my back testing and my learning. So, you know, I'll allow myself this trade. So I entered, we got a lot of relatively equal highs here. So we've got low resistance liquidity. I was thinking we're going to take these out. We're going to take this high into this gap is what I was thinking. We're going to go past 0.5%, and then we're going to grab this candle with no wick right here was my main take profit. I don't know why. Fill in the gap as well. I think that candle with no wick was by far my main take profit, and I was very insistent on holding till then. Anyway, that was my pre-trade analysis. Let's hop into the actual trade. This was a longer term trade. As you guys can see, we're on the 5-minute chart. So I was actually in this trade for a while. And straight away, I got a massive move in my direction. I was like, okay, here's your order flow. Here's your, like I don't want to say breakout, but the release of the accumulation stage. So I was looking for a move up, right? So we swept those highs. Trade's looking very well. I had a great entry. Initially, my entry was because we respected this small term 618 right here. This lower term 618. We had equal highs. I just knew it was building, right? Equal highs, relatively equal, relatively equal, relatively equal. So straight away, I entered this candle because I had some bigger take profit. So I was in this trade, stop loss here. I didn't want to keep it too tight because you guys already know my losses. And straight away playing it out, right, slowly and surely. I'm still 100% of my positions on the table, right? All these relatively equal highs. This high we hit straight away, and I'm still in. And guess what? Here, I decided to say, you know what? I'm comfortable enough with this trade. Stop to break even. Boom. Stop to break even. Because honestly, I thought that I was safe. It's gone a lot in my direction. I was seeing green for once in my life.
Trims? No trims?
No trims at all. Wait till you fucking see this bullshit. It is.
I already know what's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
Anyway, I mean, you can kind of guess. I might have spoiled it a little bit. Out.
No. This is classically what happens to almost everybody who does this.
I
just want to see what happens.
Stops to break even, right?
When stops to break even too soon, it's a classic problem that everyone has. Everyone thinks,
and I still do it, man.
And dude, honestly, like until recently, I would still occasionally do it just because you're just like, oh, this is, I'm gonna just save this or whatever, and like until you get to a true like break of structure or whatever, that stops to break even thing essentially signifies that you're a pussy. Why? Well, if you're putting on a trade and you don't believe in your hypothesis, and the trade, you waited for your entry, you've done the work to believe it's going to go somewhere as SMC traders do, you already decided to take on the risk. And so once you see green and you're like, cool, stops to break even, I'm unwilling to see any more red, you're just saying, yeah, I don't actually believe in my trade. And essentially, if you take that one further logical step as you should, if I don't believe in my trade enough for it to play out, then I shouldn't have taken on. And if I took it on and didn't believe in it, I'm gambling or I am hoping or wishing, and that is not trading. So essentially, you reveal who you are in the trade because either you did the work and you're too scared and you either leverage too much or whatever, and you need to reduce it so that you take an appropriate risk where you could withstand the loss, or you gambled or FOMO'd it, and that's unacceptable. Let's go. Yeah, let's see where this.
And I think one of the main reasons why I moved my stop to break even. You guys know all my emotional stages through my red streak, right? I went from hyper obsessing over risk management and risk to reward to letting the set it and forget it, whatever, to more risk management and taking stuff off the table, one risk to reward, etc. This is where I fuck myself up. Because I was in this red streak, and you're right, I was really not comfortable with having a loser. Or even being red in that position at all. Like I don't know why, especially because the red days, I was just trying to secure. I can't afford. And straight away in this situation, what do you guys already know? If we were to draw a fib from this high to this low, 618, and then this would be the area for longs, right? We've got a beautiful fair value gap. We kind of swept this low as well, so low into the fair value gap, and we get a reaction
into the
straight away.
Into the order block right there.
Into the order block, exactly. And this...
Let it play out.
I'll let it play out in a second. Yeah. But I just want to be insistent on this. Is most likely you can be 100% correct in your position. You can have a great entry. You can have a great stop loss, great risk to reward. And the price goes well in your direction. When the price starts to dip back into your direction, you start to have doubts on yourself. Maybe I was wrong. I could see that, this gap maybe, or this high is swept, whatever it was. I'm starting to have doubts as it goes against you, and it goes against you. You have to be insistent on why you entered in the first place. I wasn't. I moved my stop to break even because honestly, I was managing my risk as tightly as possible. I was holding on to any part of my gain. And in these circumstances, you can have a great entry, you can have a great stop loss, great risk to reward. If you move your stop loss, even with the best entry, it is likely that you will be break even before it executes in all your price targets.
This is like metaphorically similar, like in terms of the driving analogy I always make with trading. This is like you gripping the steering wheel too tight, or trying to take a turn before the turn is there. And essentially, your turn that you need to make where you end the drive is where your take profit is up there. And what happened is some guy rudely turned in front of you, and you had to jump on your brakes. And it's annoying, but it's in your plan that unless your car crashes, which is your stop loss, that you're going to make that turn when the turn arrives, not just turn now because you wanted to turn and that was the timing of the turn, or you want to just minimize your irritation or whatever the fuck it is that's going on internally. Because in reality, you like, if the trade is like not there, like the price is allowed to gyrate as much as it wants, and it can. If you think that it's a good time and you believe in your trade, like allow it to play out or not. And in all honesty, I would even say this, like I'll add this now before I forget. It is actually smarter and more proper that if you want to mitigate your risk, to take a trim and to pay the trader than it is to move your stop to break even.
Yeah.
Because moving your stop to break even, you're unwilling to let your trade play out and admitting you're a pussy. At least if you take a trim, you take some risk off the table, one of your positions off the table, and allow your trade to continue. Or at least you obtain some that even if your trade fails, like it's still going to be break even or green, which is still fine because you still allowed your trade to potentially play out. Whatever you need to do to reduce that friction, that feeling of emotion while your trade is playing out, if you believe in your trade, which should be the only reason why you initiated in the first place, the better it is for you in the long run, even if you get stopped out. That is the price that you have to pay. Many of us, even on the best setups, will get stopped out, and you just have to sort of deal with it. And so you should assume that you're going to lose, and that's the only thing that's guaranteed. And then it will allow you to be like, okay, yeah, I assumed that this risk was enough.
Yep.
I'm not married to the idea, but until like, let's say, was that a fair value gap that's right there, Luca?
Yes,
that you
that's
highlighted?
A fair value gap.
Okay, so like, if that fair value gap gets inverted or something, then maybe now you're starting to get new indications that this is playing. But for it to just come back and tap it, It doesn't matter.
It's ridiculous.
And if it comes and hits your stop or whatever, yeah, and we all fall for it. Like me and Luca are absolutely. I mean, he's showing us a trade where he's guilty of doing it himself, and I've done this plenty of times extra recently. But honestly, you're just proving to yourself that you don't believe in the entry that you took, and then you really shouldn't be in the trade. And you should take a closer look at yourself on why you're engaging in trades that you don't believe in.
Yep, exactly. And this is a real reflection of my emotions that are playing into this trade. Like,
Yeah.
I could be the best trader on the planet. Everyone watching can go home and trade, and you will have these exact situations play out. No matter your strategy, you will have a break-even stop that stopped you out before it takes your price targets. If it's like it's going to happen to everybody. It's about yourself, whether or not you can restrict yourself. You can tie yourself to the chair and just look at the chart. Don't fucking move your stop loss. I do that shit all the time. But listen,
Yeah.
I have a real problem. I'm really struggling with like micromanaging my trade, like we talked about last week. Micromanaging your trade, doing anything under your but like anything other than your actual trading plan should be prohibited. I shouldn't be able to trade during my trading plan. Should be able to move my stops during my trading plan, price targets during my trading plan. I should have it before I click the execute button. Same with averaging downs. So in this situation, I really fucked myself over by deciding to let my discipline slip loose and to move my stop loss. Because I moved my stop loss to break even here, I got stopped out, and let's see what happens here in the next couple candles. You start to break upwards, sweeps lower, and then executes. And then I think it hits my final PT. That's because I moved my stop to break even. I could have done everything else right if I moved my stop loss, especially because I didn't believe in my TA. I was a pussy, basically. I didn't believe in my TA. I was in this emotional mood. Oh, I gotta fucking micromanage my trade. Listen, I get humbled. I get humbled a lot, and I'm definitely gonna share a lot more of my lessons that I'm learning, because this hurts, man. It really does when I'm doing so bad and I could get fucked over this bad, on a good, supposed to be green trade. BJ, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it sucks to see it, man, but it is a typical thing that sort of happens. Just like, that's, we always talk about like the word recession and the power of the word, and like how like thinking about your losers and losing is like not good, really. Like you want to understand them and inhale them and take them. But when you take a trade on, you don't want to be thinking about stuff that happened in the past or that's in the future. There's this chart. It is offering some information of which you have a bias, a hypothesis on what it's going to do. It offers you signs on which you decide, I will take a calculated bet on what it does, and I will take these parameters to accept this loss if it happens, and to take profits in these particular areas. And that's really the only thing you're supposed to do. And then if you lose, you already know what you're going to do with your loss. Do you stop? Well, I guess it depends on how much I lost. Or maybe I do stop right after one loss. That's my limit. And then you come back another day. You could be a fantastic trader and go through a bad period and a string of losses. And it's going to suck whenever that happens for all of us. And we're just going to get through it. But you're going to have to get through it robotically. Guess why a computer wins? It doesn't care ever that it lost or won. Yet, we know we're supposed to act like this, but everybody on Discord or half of your friends that may trade or people you see online, they do the exact opposite. If you want to do this game right, this occupation, this activity correctly, it seems like you have to just do it essentially in like the most zen in like real time, only focusing on what's there type of thing, and then just let it be what it is. You should have already come to terms what you're dealing with. It's like being a gladiator, you know what I'm saying, in a coliseum. Like, sure, they were forced into it, but we decided to come to fight the lions. And then you're like, oh man, I got out there and then a lion came at me. I didn't realize it could bite me. Are you dumb? What? Oh, you just think that the lion? What do you think a lion's gonna do? And you came here. So unfortunately, like, losses and stuff suck, but like when you're taking a trade, none of that should even matter. Be like, okay, anticipate the trade doing this. I'm willing to take the loss here to go there. And the funniest thing is, like, if you did your job, and this sucks because like it's the same with both of us, but when we do our job, we tend to get paid. You just have to make sure you're doing your job and not being weird about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, it's so embarrassing. And looking back, I just knew that I was in a state of survival at the time. Trading
When you
is
should have been, yeah.
exactly, trading is a psychological battle, and it's really only between yourself. Of course, that there's other participants in the market, but you have to be the most resilient out of every single trader out there. The more resilient you are, the more chances of success. And in this situation, I was the opposite. I was not resilient. I was undisciplined. I was lousy and lazy and ignorant. And I moved my stop and I let the other traders take advantage of me.
Well, this is that, you know, Luca. I would say this, and like people should understand this. You're starting to use verbiage where I could tell that you're like getting a bit down on yourself for this mistake. This is a mistake that's easily rectified. You just stick to your business plan and on to the next one.
No,
You don't need to take this loss any more harshly than it is, and any less harshly than for what it is. You had a great trade idea. It actually panned out. You completely fuddled up the execution, which we were wont to do.
yeah,
You are a young trader, and this is a great example on why you should have just succumbed to the small, reasonable loss that you had set out there. And then you would have been able to succumb to your take profits taking. And then also another hint, the next time you feel this type of agitation, trim rather than pushing your stop up. And pay yourself for your agitation and your work. Even though it's not as much, it is important to understand managing your emotions in the trade so you can allow it to do what it is important. And if at any point you feel out of control, you should just close the trade and certainly trim to at least trim to an area where those emotions are nullified. That is important. So like your TA is important to allow to play out, but if you're already feeling emotional to the point where you should break even your stop, just close the trade.
yep,
Unless it was part of your trading plan initially. Oh, once I hit a 2-to-1, I'll break even my stops rather than trim. If that's your game plan and that works out for you and you've back tested and you like those results, stick with your game plan, guys. But if it's not and it's sort of variable or you're trying to minimize losses, you're better off trimming.
yeah,
And really waiting before you break even your stops. And if you break even your stops that you trim, which sometimes I do that, then okay, then you can follow that, and then you'll sort of understand, like, okay, like I didn't really play it out. I sort of fucked that up. At least I got some gains, and then like let me relook at what I'm doing. Like that would be a green trade that wasn't good.
yep,
But at least you have some green, and then you could take a look at what you did and adjust at least from a place of a little bit green, which might make you feel better than break even in this particular case. Maybe not much. Both are sort of fumbling it up anyway, but you know, honestly, break even is still fine here. You know what I'm saying? For
I
a mistake.
feel it's like what just about what you said earlier about me like taking it to heart or whatever, and my use of language. I'm definitely not mourning over this trade. In fact, I'm very hopeful and because my trade actually played out. Yes, I'm very frustrated and I'm harsh on myself, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I'm not like going crazy. You know,
Good.
I just know that
Good.
I've got to be. I'm just like the way I will be in just like I'll bring up an analogy of you rolling down a fucking hill full of snow. You know those
Mm-hmm.
cartoons where the more you roll down, the bigger the snowball you get. You
Mm-hmm.
become, and the faster you go down to gain more.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to take this super personally, I know that I will be more emotional in my next trade, and I will cause more of these mistakes. More of these
Yeah.
mistakes will cause me again to be more emotional and cause more mistakes, etc. And it continues. So the way for me to stop this and stop me trading as bad as this is for me to relax. I said, okay, that's fine. And you know, the other days maybe I won't trade as much. Maybe I can relax a little bit. I can do other things. I got other things to do, school wise. You know, I've got a lot of work on the side that I can focus my efforts on, and not just
That's
trading.
not a bad idea. Bro, you want to know something? That's not a bad idea. Like Tom, who's going to be on the show, he said something the other day, like a couple weeks ago, and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, oh my bad. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I really like. I've been watching the candles paint for a long time, like every minute, even if I'm not trading, since I started SMC, and that's good. You learn a lot from it.
Yep.
But I can like look at it every few minutes and learn from it, right? I don't need to like have my emotions like in this wrangle. And they're not generally aren't really, but like I realize like, yo, I could take this trade and like go brush my teeth. Like this morning on to 9:30, like I was in the trade and I was brushing my teeth. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I came back, I'm like, I want to come back before 9:30. It did its thing, it swept me out, I looked again, and then I re entered and then made it back, right? And the thing is, like leaving in a trade or whatever, before I thought it was whatever, but I already succumbed to the price doing what it does. And I knew that it wasn't likely to do it before 9:30. So just in case I get swept out, I could close my other position, I take profit, and then whatever. And so, it is very
It's interesting.
interesting. Yeah, when you get to that place where, Tom said like, his job as a trader is to like, set his trade up into the trade, and then what he does is like he goes does something else where like play Fortnite or something where he's he's there, he can watch it, but he's not really paying attention to it,
Yep.
like hovering over controlling. So it might be a great idea for you to
I'll
like do
experiment.
your homework.
I
Yeah,
definitely will.
like set your trade up. If your trade's good, you really believe it, take your trade, go do some homework. Because bro, like when I brushed my teeth, I saw like my position was a little bit more green than it was. But then I saw like a pullback that I was like, oh yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
shitty to look at, even though I knew that it could already happen anyway. But I didn't even have to deal with it in real time. I'm like, oh, there it is. It's just like I thought. But just even that little less adrenaline or whatever, it's like it was sort of nice. I was like, I don't need to watch every single little aspect necessarily, even though
Yeah.
I absolutely like it. It doesn't harm me to necessarily watch it, but then it doesn't harm me to not. And then if I have some other things to do, I can keep glancing and do my thing. Like I've realized that over the past couple weeks
Yep.
that like yeah, it's not necessary to hang like do all that. That it actually makes you feel more powerful, I guess, regarding it. Like you can do some other things, probably can cook and do some other shit while you're like
Exactly.
trading.
I agree.
You know,
Yep.
so it's
And
very
yeah, and
interesting.
it's also love. It's very freeing. I'll definitely experiment. I had a
Yeah.
thing previously when I was just to finish off when I previously traded was I had a problem stopping like trading. I couldn't keep myself out of a position, so I
Mm-hmm.
decided I needed something to look forward to after I'm finished. And if that
Mm.
was a video game or whatever, I just had to be distracted. And I'm disciplined
Yeah.
enough now that I don't need that a
Yeah.
distraction. But I should, because I do learn even while I'm not trading, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm disciplined enough not to enter. But I still do. I should take myself out of it. You know, it's a world of mental fatigue, and I feel
Yeah.
like it'll bring a lot more oomph and energy to my next trades. And for just to finish up, for you Luca fans, what's this right here? What's this right here? You already know.
French fries.
It's a little thing. It's a little Pookle. Little Pookle liquidity. Did we hit this Pookle? Let's see. Yup. Let's go Pookle. Okay. Anyway, listen. Moving on. We're listen. A couple things. We're gonna get
God, I
some.
wish they could see. I wish they could see my face right now. Wish
Yeah,
you could see my
you're
face
doing
right now.
the
Just
the kissing. You're kissing the screen.
no. I would, but it was me mostly just shaking my head.
Doing the Gurum dance on the chair. I feel it.
Oh God, Guru
Anyway, listen,
dance.
we're gonna have some guests on. We're gonna have some definitely some interesting people, profitable and unprofitable stories, their experiences, more losses. We're trust me, we got stuff planned. Keep in tune because you're definitely gonna want to, especially in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, we enjoyed this episode. I think it was a nice episode. Was it a VJ?
I think it was good. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah. But listen, we appreciate all the Instagram, all the TikTok, all the Twitter, all the everything. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. All right.
All right, love y'all. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.